All right. I couldn't get my music to play, so I just decided to start this early. But we'll wait for everybody for another 5 minutes if they're going to be coming. But I just wanted to say welcome to our weekly live stream for the IT Security Labs team on Hackthebox. Let me remove my music over there. Thank you for being patient. Last week I got really busy with family and work, but I'm just happy that we can come back this week and continue what we started. If you are going to be new on this channel and also to these live streams, we have been going on for a few weeks now, and we pick a machine on Hack the Box every week. And as a team, we work on it and we exploit the machine. We ask for help if we need it from our Facebook page. And people are really good at asking for help and also sharing knowledge in general. And the goal is for us to learn. And it's good to see that um, Charles is here. And yes, so I wanted to sort of have a topic just to discuss on what we'll be talking about. We just have to sort of cover a topic before we choose our machine. And I've been working on Ansible and also automating the setup for this lab that you're looking at here. If you look on my channel, I have in-depth videos of how to set up a SIM solution. I have in-depth videos on how to set up to monitor your systems. And those videos were all done manually. So you were setting up everything manually. And now that we have automation tools in place and we have Docker for containers, I think it's best that I move away from that model of just setting up a server in my environment here and just manually configuring it. That's just not going to fly. Over the past few weeks, I've been learning Ansible. I already know how to use Salt and other automation tools. So that's something that I want to incorporate in my portfolio of things that I know. Not only do I know how to, say, hack into systems, but also how to protect systems and how do I deploy secure systems or security systems that monitor things using Ansible. So that's why we are talking about Ansible. All right, so since it's already on 9 p.m. time, let's talk about Ansible before we go to our Hack the Box stuff. So I've deleted a lot of machines in my lab. So what I have here is a lab that I've kept over the past 5 years. Like this lab has evolved. It used to have a lot of machines, then I'll clean them up depending on what I'm learning, then I'll rebuild it again. And what you're looking at right now is a new lab that I am building again. My main goal this time is to set up a network security monitoring solution, and I'm going to automate the creation of elk sim, which is what you're looking at here. It's already getting data. I'm going to automate the creation of the security onion machines, which are going to be my network sensors. And then, of course, automate the creation of Grafana for beautiful graphs. And this is very important because while we learn how to hack and how to attack into systems, sometimes we find ourselves in a place where we are the people who defend these systems. And when you are defending systems, you need to deploy these solutions. And when you deploy these solutions, you need to know that nowadays we have moved away from bare metal servers. We are now virtualizing things. We are now even using containers instead of just installing solutions in VMs. So those are the solutions that I'm working on and that I actually want to share with people as well, in addition to our hacking expeditions that we do. I got Charles interested. I'm I'm happy. So here's Charles saying, "Okay, I'm interested." All right. So since you're interested, Charles, this is a lab. It's an iteration of what I have in the cloud. I have a variation of this lab in my Microsoft Azure cloud, which I'm not ready to share with people yet because I'm still using it. I don't want people to go against my public IP addresses and try to get into my systems for fun. So I already have this solution with Ansible working in Azure, and I know that not everybody can deal with subscriptions and working with Azure. I will share that later for a different type of people, but I'm trying to take what I have in Azure and bring it down here. And what I'm going to be doing is using Ansible. Right now, I can show you what this sort of looks like. I have a machine here running CentOS 7, running Ansible on the VM, not in a container. That was very intentional because I wanted Ansible to have as much resources as it can. So I already have Ansible installed here. Ansible is already talking to this machine here. I put my SSH key. If you don't know much about Ansible, I will be making some videos about the configuration. It's very simple. It took me 5 minutes. Then Ansible is already talking to this machine, which is running Ubuntu. And it's also talking to, is it Pyro? Yeah, it's talking to Pyro right now. And what I can do with Ansible is I can deploy, say, metric bit, so I can send the data to Elk. Automatically, I can create what they call playbooks in Ansible, and I create the playbook once, and then I can just list a bunch of machines and say, hey, Ansible, on all these machines, install metric bit, and the metric bit is going to have configurations that are going to send the data to Elastic-SIEM, and the Elastic-SIEM is going to have some data, and I'm going to see very, very great information. So that's what I wanted to talk about today, is that I'm working on this lab. Let me show you a terminal here of what it looks like. Where's my Ansible terminal? So if I say, okay, so this is where I'm documenting it right now. I'm documenting it in Atom, and this is going to end up on GitHub, so everybody can have it. All right, so what you're looking at is my Elk SIEM, and I was just testing to see if Firebit is running, and as you can see, Firebit is running. It's monitoring logs, and the logs are coming in. There's the same logs that if you come in here, you'll see that Firebit is monitoring my system, and the logs are coming in this solution. And if you look, it will say Firebit NetFlow right there. So I'm listening from Cisco Meraki right here. And this is where I configured it. I have a video showing you how to do this. But I configured Meraki to send me all NetFlow data that's coming in. And that data is coming in. And as you can see, I just started it a few minutes ago. All right, so what I wanted to show you though is Ansible, not that one. So if I exit out of here and exit again, this is my lab, so don't worry about it. You won't be able to get in here. All right. There is my Ansible machine. Escape. So this machine here is running Ansible, which is an automation solution for deploying software and pretty much anything you want. If you want to install systems, you can use Ansible. If you want to send files, configurations, and everything, it's awesome. And I think that it's great for us as IT people to use Ansible. Other solutions are like Salt and Puppet. You might have heard of them. So my goal on this channel is to use Ansible on this same lab and deploy a lab for us to learn network security monitoring, because what we do normally is we jump into the Hackthebox and we're hacking. We also need to look at what does it look like for those who are defending this infrastructure when it's being hacked. What are they looking at on a daily basis? How do you monitor infrastructures? Because you have more people who monitor systems than more people who actually work in defending them, like pen testers, for example. So this is sort of like a dual sword. We know how to hack. We know how to get into systems using SQL injections. We need to also know how does a SQL injection look like when you are internal. So with Ansible, I already installed it in here, and here's how it works in an overview. Ansible, you specify host. So for example, I have CentOS with this IP address. I have Ubuntu with this IP address. And what I learned very quickly is that I can specify a variable. Say, when I'm working with Ubuntu, use this username. For CentOS, I can use the default Ansible or whatever other username. So this is how I'm defining the two machines. And this machine here that says CentOS is 61, and this one is 51. And I'll show you in my lab here. This is the machine that is under Ubuntu. So if I want to push any configuration here, I can just push it using Ansible right now. Then this is my other 61, a Pyro machine for my lab, and it's on 61. And look what happens from Ansible. Just to verify connectivity, right? Okay, so here I have a few commands that I did, but if I do a ping for the Ubuntu machine, well, I can just do this. So Ansible is trying to ping right now. This stuff is really fun. In addition to hacking, I think we should also, have a little bit more fun knowing what the defenders are doing. So now I know this is a success. I can now send commands to this Ubuntu machine. I can get the system status. I can send a bunch of commands that if I wanted to. But if I had a bunch of Ubuntu machines, I can also send a bunch of commands to all of them at once using Ansible. And I'm going to be using Ansible to install Docker on remote machines and then install security solutions. In this case, I'm going to be using ElkSim. So that's sort of like a quick overview of what I wanted to talk about Ansible in 10 minutes. So that's awesome. If you have any questions, let me know. Otherwise, let's go with our business for this week, which is how do we proceed. Last week, I sort of dropped the ball. I was so busy, I missed the stream, but I promise that will not happen. I will make sure that at least we work on this and bring it up every week. I will have a backup if needed. Charles, I think you can jump in, and I have a few people who have also volunteered. So if I'm not around, somebody will always take over. All right, so which machine do we guys think we can do this week for our Hackthebox series? See that we have 7 people right now. Let's see. Let me sign into my Hackthebox here so we can take a look. But if you have a good idea of which machine we should attack, we are all open to ideas. Otherwise, we can pick the next easy machine and work on it. Okay. All right. There we go. So we are on a Hackthebox right now. Here are all the active machines. I am still struggling with these two. I've done some notes. But if anyone has any interest, this one is looks like it's new. We haven't done this one, and we also haven't done Fuse. And Fuse is Windows. I have a soft spot for Windows, but if anybody has any suggestions before I sort of try to get us going, let me know in the comments right now so we can hopefully shorten the stream and get started hacking. Otherwise, so far what we have done is pick a few machines every week. People would work on it. Our team has grown a lot. I I have 5 people that I still need to add that requested to be added. Um, some people joined, but they haven't started hacking yet, which is it's their own time. They might be busy or other things are happening. But we really want to make sure that when we commit to a machine, at least come to our Facebook page and or on the comments section and let us know that you finished the machine. If you're struggling, come to our Facebook page or Discord and let us know if you're struggling. So let's see. A few people are. Okay, Jupiter Blake, you said awesome. Thanks for letting us know, Ruth, that you won't be able to complete the machine. But yeah, if there's a machine that you have done that you think will benefit the team with some really cool exploits or way of getting in, please let us know. We are interested in making sure that we keep this ball rolling because it'll be so nice that at the end of the year we can look back and say we completed this many machines as a team, and everybody can look back and say, "Wow, our skills have really improved by sticking up with this." Usually, it takes a little bit of time at first. Then, with time, you begin to become very efficient. Cascade. Did we do Cascade? I don't think. I think I did. Did I? Let me find out. Since we're already looking here, is there Cascade here? I think it was that retired. Uh, yeah, that one must have. Oh, it's right here. It's a Windows machine and it says medium. Most likely I've done it. Let's see. Nope, I haven't. That's a good one. I haven't done Cascade. It's a Windows machine. I think I probably got stuck somewhere. I have notes for on this machine. But yeah, if people are interested, we'll see. Jupiter says I'm studying for Computer Security Plus. Yeah, good luck with that certification. It's a very popular certification in IT security, especially with government jobs. I know a lot of people who took that cert, and it's sort of required for some contracts that they go to work for. So yeah, that's a good one. All right, so we can do Cascade or we can do this one, which I haven't seen before. Fuse. It looks like a medium machine. It's a Windows machine as well. Oh, so Charles, when you say you and Ruth did that one last week, are you talking about Cascade or Fuse? Oh, okay. Now I'm challenged. I need to I need to get you to Cascade. Maybe tonight I can try to dedicate an hour and see if I can get user. If I'm lucky. Usually, if I'm lucky, I get user within an hour. Okay, so Charles, you said you did that one last week with. with root. So you probably we're talking about Cascade. So maybe let's do Fuse this week. Let's uh let's commit. Oh, okay. All right. So since two of our members already committed to this one last week when we didn't have a machine, uh, we can do Fuse this week, and hopefully we'll learn something interesting. I hope it's not another. I'll stop talking about these machines. There is a certain vulnerability that I found in a lot of Windows machines that I didn't appreciate. That I'll do one machine, then I'll do another one. They were identical, and I was like, seriously, I need something more interesting. So we can pick Fuse for this week. It looks like it's getting 3.5 ratings. There's a lot of enumeration needed, some CVE, so we know there's that information. All right, so unless if somebody has another machine that they think is interesting, let's lock it in for this week and commit to working on Fuse, which is a Windows machine, because I think this would do us great. Then we'll post it on our Facebook page and pin that as our machine for the week. As always, if you get the machine completed, please come to our page, post that you did, so people know who to sort of reach out to. Um, when people reach out, usually they don't want to be given the answer directly. When I reach out to people, I usually ask like, "Hey, this is what I've done. I've found that there's anonymous login on SMB or something like that, and I found a bunch of files. Am I in the right place?" Or the person might say, "Well, I would also look at other ports." Then I know, well, initial foothold was somewhere else. Then I'll go and enumerate somewhere else. Instead of saying, "Hey, have you looked at FTP?" Or the Facebook page is called IT Security Labs. Let's link it right now. If somebody already has it, please post it in the. Yeah, it's called IT Security Labs, and if you're very careful or you don't want to use your real account, you can always create a burner Facebook account and join us. We just have to approve you to get in. Otherwise, yeah, you should be good. And also, you can use our Discord, but I found that it's very effective when you're using a Facebook page for people to actually engage. Um, Jupiter, you said have you tried? We so far we are trying to establish a team on Hackthebox. Try Hack Me is a really wonderful platform. I've done a few machines there myself. Um, we haven't done it as a team, but if people that's what people are interested in the future, we can try to do that. And I think it will be really nice for us to branch out there in the future as our skills get better. Or I've seen that sometimes it's an easier platform, just like VownHub is. I started on VownHub downloading machines. These are wonderful platforms to use and be on. So try Acme is definitely something that we can do if that's what people are interested in trying out. Awesome. Well, some people say try Acme. I see Rutu said, really? What do you mean? Did I say something you don't agree with? I'm curious. What do you mean by really? I've seen people who like try Acme. I'm hoping to do a lot of machines on Hackthebox. I've learned so a lot from this platform that to keep going will be really helpful. All right. So, uh, Jupiter, I'm not sure what you mean by we should do more repositories on how to clone stuff from GitHub. You mean we should do videos on how to clone stuff from GitHub? I think, yeah, that's one of the skills that you might find that you'll be using it every single day once you start using Git. Okay. Yeah, we do have a Discord. We do have a Discord, and we get about 5 people a day in Discord. New people. People just don't ask questions in Discord. I use Discord mostly for communicating with people one on one who don't want to use Facebook. So there are specific people like who reach out about bugs that they find, and they want to work together on a bug because they've seen me work on a machine on Facebook, I mean on YouTube, and I use some technique that they think will help them in their bug. Then we collaborate on bug bounties that way. But that's once in a while. Oh, if you want to, I think if you want to PM also, you can also reach out to people in our team on a Hack the Boxes. You can see I have a few messages here according to this little dot. So after this stream, I'll look and see who reached out to me. And I mean, we are always learning. So this is why we have these things, these platforms where we all come together weekly. We just hang out and we start talking about security. We start doing security stuff. So if people are okay, we can end the stream early today and jump on hacking. I'm sort of interested in Cascade now. Now that Root and Charles have already worked on that machine, I'm already thinking about it. And I think as soon as I end this stream, I'm going to start that machine. Actually, let's start it now so that when this stream is done, I'll have my machine ready. Because I'm going to try to get at least user on this machine in the before I go to bed today. I'll try to get in. Then remember our machine of the week is Fuse, this one. So by next Sunday we'll come back here and hopefully you would have done Fuse and you would have completed. All right, so there we go. My machine is deployed. I have to get my Kali ready and we'll be there. Um, Hi Ramon, how are you doing? Welcome to the stream. We are just almost finishing the stream. We chose to do Fuse this week. If you are new to these streams and to our channel, we pick a machine every week on Hack the Box, and we created a team that you can join if you want, of people of all skill levels. And what we try to do is we try to attack these machines as a team, and hopefully we can get motivated because you're now part of something other than doing it by yourself. So we can work on these machines as a team and we can come back every Sunday. And if you are able to hack the machine, come to our Facebook page, post that you did, or let other people in the team know on Discord. And if you get stuck, you also have other people working on the same machine. So that's awesome. Then 2 years from now, we can look back and say, wow, we have done so many machines on a weekly basis. But if you get busy or something, you can skip a week or two, but at least you know this is something that you have that you can always join. Root 2 said I need to go over methodology with someone more theoretical than anything. Oh, you're saying you're a noob, you need to go through the methodologies. Yeah, I think it really helps to go through the methodology. Let me see what I have here. Do I have my OneNote? I have something like this that I sort of refer to. So what you're looking at right now, here's is my cheat sheet for enumeration. I got Go Basta. I'm going to add Derby in here. I have WFAS, enum for Linux. I have links to all these things. And in my OneNote, for example, if I find port 21 SMB, I know that I need to run this command for SMB client to see if I can get in, or I can run nmap to actually enumerate more. Of course, this is work in progress. I'm going to be adding more here, but as you can see, this is all the different sort of something that you can start with. I hope I can that can help you there. Oh, that's interesting. That's an interesting analogy, Root. You're saying OSP like is like Hackthebox. I haven't taken the OSCP. I've been talking about the OSCP for 8 months now, and I've been hacking through those 8 months. Some people tell me that I can go and pass the OSCP. I just haven't taken it yet, and I'm committed to taking it this year. Right now, based on what I do and my day to day, I don't need the OSCP, but it's something that if I really need to go and take it, I will commit and just pay for it. Yeah, Ruth, if you want, come on Discord. You and I we can talk about this stuff as well. All right. So I see more people are joining. Before we end this stream, I just wanted to let you know that our machine for the week is Fuse. We spoke about Ansible, and I was just showing those who were here earlier that I have an Ansible uh, machine that's going to automatically deploy um, a network security monitoring solution with an elk sim. In addition to us hacking and having fun on Hack the Box, most of the world needs people to defend and analyze and be on the lookout for the bad guys. So I believe that it's very important for us to know both sides. You can't just be hacking and not know what people actually do to try to defend the infrastructure. And most jobs require you to know these things. So right here, I'm just deploying. I have a domain controller running on Windows Elk SIM, which is just a SIM solution. Right now, it's collecting data, as you can see, from NetFlow data from Firebit. Winlog bit is coming from my Windows domain controller. So this is going to be a lab that you're going to be seeing on the channel, not really on the live streams, but on the channel when I'm talking about log collection and also setting up sensors and all stuff like that. So that was the first part of the stream where I was just mentioning Ansible, and I showed you sort of like the Ansible configuration file. I'm going to be creating Ansible playbooks, which are fun to create. If you haven't looked at Ansible, I highly encourage you to look at it. It's a fun technology, just like Salt and others. And then we concluded that we are going to be completing Fuse, which is a Windows machine. But since last week I was slacking and I was not around, the team worked on Cascade. So right now I have Cascade on standby. As soon as this stream is done, I'm going to dedicate an hour and try to get into Cascade, at least get root. I mean, a user, because I know it might take a while, but at least get user, then finish it later. Matthew, good to see you, man. Matthew saying we need something. harder than the last box. Yeah, I think Fuse being a Windows machine might be a little tough for some people. Let's see. Let me know if you have any objection to Fuse. This is just one we picked last week. Charles and Root worked on Cascade, which I think um, is a is a machine that I'm going to try to get. Then we can go to Fuse. This one looks a little too easy, and it was rated 3.2. Somehow people are not really happy with these machines, but that's not what we're really trying to do. Let's see. All right. So yeah, Matthew, it's good to see you, man. I was wondering where you were. So if you're just joining us again, we are just hanging out talking about hack the box machines, and so far we have landed on Fuse. But if you have any objections, let us know. Awesome. So Matthew is in. So as always, Matthew, if anyone gets root on Fuse, just come to our Facebook page and just post. You're not really boasting. You're just letting all of us who probably haven't done or started the machine know that you finished it. It gives us hope that one of us finished the machine first of all, and also maybe there's someone we can sort of bounce ideas off. So anyone who gets this machine, post in our Discord or Facebook page, and then we can be very successful. Other than that, I don't have much to add to today's stream. I think we can end it if people are okay with it. Oh, okay. Charles say we could try out. Yeah. The reason why I'm laughing on this machine here, oh man. Let me show you my notes. I have some notes on Ouch. Let me show you my notes. I won't spoil the machine for anybody, but let me see if there's anything I can share with you. This machine is not for the weak at heart. It's difficult. Okay, Root is saying let's choose two machines. Let me see if where's my ouch mean? Okay, for documentation, this is what I use, right? Here's a few machines that I documented. Let's remove that. You can see that I did find some ports. This is not spoiling the machine. This is as far as you can go. I do have some notes here. But this machine, I'm telling you, Charles, it's an interesting machine. Let me get out of there before I spoil it for others. It's an interesting machine. If you are interested in Ouch, yeah. All right. So for now, I think Root, we can consider the idea of selecting two machines for sure. But let's try it at least to we can alternate between easy and hard machines weekly. That way we can still feel like a team. Because the moment we have two machines, then we have people just working on one machine and others on another. And that will sort of split our efforts. It will help if those who are experienced can also, quickly complete the easy machines. And if they are interested in completing the hard ones, like ouch, we can talk about it informally, like we are doing right now. Yeah, this one I haven't given up yet on ouch. I'll try to get this. All right, Tim. This is awesome. This is awesome. I've never been so excited about YouTube the way I am about this team and the way we work. It's less it's less lonely. Making YouTube videos by yourself and editing them and posting them is different from having a team of people just to work with. This feels more like collaboration than me sitting here saying, "Hey, I can make you this machine. I can show you how to hack." This is awesome. And our discussions on Facebook and also reaching out individually on Facebook and other platforms is also really helpful for our growth. And we hope we can grow this community. Right now, this channel almost has, I think, will be at 12,000 people, and the channel is growing, the community is growing, a lot of people are learning, and hopefully within a few years, a lot of people look back and look at this channel and our live streams as sort of their foundation for their careers, which will be awesome. Awesome. All right. So since we're already here, is there any other topic that people would like us to address other than our hacking and stuff? Yeah, Discord is kind of fun. Usually, Discord is just like texting. So if you come on Discord and you send some messages, people also respond quickly. Discord and Facebook, especially, people will get back to you quicker than other platforms. And another way that we can do this is if people want, I can say, for example, if Chelsea, if you wanted, we can do a call live stream, And at the end of the day, we want to make sure that this is a community effort. Oh, I'm posting this for others to see. Idris is asking, how hard is it to get a job as a pen tester? I think this question is the same as any other job, really. You need to, in especially in cybersecurity, you need to sort of know the material. Unfortunately, the hypocrisy in the infosec world is that people rarely hire people who don't know much. People want to hire somebody who at least knows something, but nobody's willing to teach people. So that's why having a platform like this helps, right? If you are on Hackthebox and you say, "Hey, I've been on Hackthebox and I've been hacking for a year, please give me a job." Maybe you can say, "Hey, I've ranked high. I've owned 29 machines. I've been a member for 271 days, and if you look at my history, I'm committed. I've been hacking consistently. This shows effort. So this might help you sort of get in the door as a pen tester if you put an effort in, say, practicing. That's different from somebody who says, "Hey, I just passed the OSCP, give me a job." This is somebody who says, "Hey, I've been hacking for a while. I'm part of IT Security Labs, the team, and we have weekly team challenges, and I've been part of these team challenges for 2 years. I think I can perform a pen test." So yeah, it's hard to get a job just like any other job, but at the same time, you just have to strategically place yourself in a way so that people can take you seriously, and you can also sell yourself better. And above all, you need to know what a pen tester does. You need to at least have an understanding of the basics, and that's what we're doing with these live streams. Oh, the Discord link. Let me see. Do I have Discord here? Let me send you the link right now for Discord. Um, I'm just signing in as myself on a different screen. Or maybe let me use my phone. That might be easier. All right, I'll find a way to share this Discord link. I, for the life of me, cannot do it from the browser where I'm trying to pay attention. I'll share the Discord link with you in the description of this when this stream ends. Idris is saying, do you have to be a networking guru to be a pen tester? Uh, others can also answer him in the comments here. But my thought process is, first of all, I have to put it out there. I don't work as a pen tester right now. I work um, sort of on the blue team. Is a security engineer, so I don't do pen testing for work. I do this for fun. But what I can tell you though is that based on what I know about pen testing and what I've been practicing, uh, networking is one of those skills that you just have to sort of know. It's the background information. You don't have to be a guru in any way. You need to know the OSI model. You need to know how it's applied. You need to know what IP addressing is, um, how to use IP addresses. You're going to be trying, say, to pivot from one network to another. You need to understand those different types of things. You need to know how to configure networking, the difference between IPv4 and IPv6, how to look for networking configuration in what a subnet mask is, because you're going to be looking at this every single day. So you don't have to be a guru into networking, but you just have to have the basics and the fundamentals to know how to get around networking. I hope that answers your question. Matthew says HR trust certification is more than Hackthebox. That is very true. So there's two layers, right? When you apply for a job, there's the HR filters, then there's the managers filters. The most respectable managers that I've met really don't focus on the certifications. So the certification you need it so that the HR can call you for an initial interview, so you can end up in front of somebody who knows the job. Most, at least for me, people that I would want to work for, I know the people that get wowed because I'm holding my CISSP certification in front of them. I have a CISSP. I don't think that should get me the job. I would want them to ask me technical questions and gauge where I am and know exactly whether I have a certain aptitude in the skills that they're looking for. That way, if they know exactly where I stand, they know how much training to provide to me. They know that not to put too much pressure on me and give me job things that I'm not qualified for. But at the same time, I know that they know the job. So yes, while HR values certifications, I also think that being able to prove some form of hands-on knowledge is very very helpful, because the worst thing that can happen is you show up with a certification for them to ask you a few technical questions and realize that you just memorize the certification and you really don't have knowledge, or at least an idea of what the job is about. All right. Yeah. Thanks, Juniper Blake. You said cybersecurity is so vast and complex. Yeah, yeah, that's a very very true statement. That is so vast and complex, and The interesting thing is sometimes you don't have to be a pen tester to perform pen tests. So I used to be a network security engineer, and I also did vulnerability assessments on my systems. I did security assessments using like Nessus and OpenVAS. I wrote scripts to assess my environment. My title wasn't a pen tester or security engineer. My title that I was hired for was network security engineer or network security analyst. But then I ended up doing all these security assessments. So it's not really like there's a group of pen testers and there's a group of people doing. Sometimes in most companies you might find yourself doing a little bit of everything, meaning you are doing network security monitoring, you're also doing assessments, you're also dealing with compliance like PCI and HIPAA and all those things. So it's not that cut and dry in most places. Like small to medium businesses, they just want you to do the assessment so they can pass their compliance, or they want to just make sure that they're safe. They don't necessarily need a red team member and a blue team member. Oh yeah, this is what Ruth said. Don't forget to start programming for those unique 0 days. Yes. My favorite person in infosec is Daniel Misler, and in his blog post that I follow, which I will share with you right now, because this is what got me started on all this. This is the, at least for me, this is life. This is what got me all hooked into all this stuff. So for those who are asking a lot of questions, this blog post right here, I read it a long time ago. It's on how to build a cybersecurity career. This helped me a lot. I followed this when my title in IT wasn't security, and it's a wonderful, wonderful blog post. Every time somebody is asking for questions about certifications and anything, I highly encourage you to use this one. So let me post this right now. Have a read of that. That should answer a lot of your questions. Okay. I just say this: what happens when you get hacked? Do companies get angry at the blue team? I think really what happens, it depends on the level of the hack. Companies can go under because they got hacked. Companies can lose business and go bankrupt because they got hacked. If you are into the, say, e-commerce business, it's all about reputation. The moment you get hacked, and especially if customer information is leaked, people freak out. People might take their business somewhere. So yeah, when the company gets hacked and you work in security at that company, it's stressful for everybody. I don't think people get angry. It happens to people all the time. People get hacked, but it's also something that people want answers from. So upper management will be asking questions like, "So what happened? How did it happen? What could we have done to prevent it? What was the mistake that happened?" So angry is not really the words I would use, but as they as you have seen in the news, usually when companies get hacked, um, they like to fire the head of security. The head of cybersecurity usually gets fired, or they might replace them with a third party. Things happen that are not ideal, or changes that are fundamental that might result in people losing their jobs or people getting new positions happen if it's serious to a point where a company's existence was threatened. So yeah, hacks are not fun, and anyone who has been in a major hack, I can imagine how sweaty they became to know that somebody stole all their customer information. That is terrifying. Uh, all right, before we end here, in 8 minutes, Ruth said, deploy your own tools. This is, if you read on this blog post that I'm showing you here, where Daniel Misler talks about, this is exactly what Ruth is saying on that say. We're saying deploy your own tools. If you cannot code, you always depend on those who can, and it's a sad reality. If you do not know how to write code, it doesn't mean you can't work in cybersecurity. It just means that you're going to need others around you who can. And if you can code and you can write, scripts and tools and get by, you can also be successful. But being really good at coding is also very important. So if you saw my OneNote there, I had my Python in there, and it's not that difficult to learn, especially if you just want to script. So yeah, being able to write your own tools is very important, and I'm going to be committing to my GitHub a few of my tools that I sort of hacked together. They're not pretty, but like automating my nmap scans on Hackthebox, so I don't have to repeat them all the time, and things like that. All right, thanks, Ruth. All right, team. I think we are doing well so far. So if you are just starting out, this is an article that I wouldn't miss. Just make sure to spend some time, read this. I will tell you personally what I've done. It talks about education. I do have a college degree, so that sort of I can pass there. I have certifications. I have Cisco certifications, three CCNAs, routing and switching, security, cyber operations. I have a CCNP. Then I also have the CISSP certification, and those certifications, like someone was mentioning, they are very very helpful in opening the doors with HR people. They check the boxes. Then after the certifications get me through the door, then I have to prove to the managers and people who know the technologies that I know what I'm talking about. Then as far as programming, I know enough to get by, not too much. I get my news mostly from RSS feeds. I have a lab, and you saw one of it. I have a lab right here in my house. I have another one in the cloud, which is awesome. I've had my lab for more than 5 years now. If you look on my channel, you'll see various videos of my lab as it has evolved, and I documented it. I have an Active Directory DNS. I've deployed a DMZ. I have projects. I'm going to be posting them to GitHub. Bounties. I haven't studied those. Have a presence. I think I have a presence now. I have 12,000 or 11,800 of you following me. So I'm trying to have a presence. I also have a website which is not too active. I have a Twitter, a Facebook page, and certifications. So follow this. I think it's a really, really great guide. I highly encourage you to do it. The reason why I go to the CISSP is because I read this. Tough though. For anyone who wants cybersecurity, that was a bold statement for Daniel. I'm hoping to convince him. If you're on Twitter, please um, tag him and ask him to come and for an interview with me. I'm going to ask him, Daniel Misler, to come in for a live interview on my channel. I want to ask him, like he says, for CISP for anyone who wants a career in cyber in security. A lot of people would not like this statement at all, especially if they already work in security and don't have a CISP. But CISP was tough. I learned a lot. Now, for me, I'm interested in this. That's why we're doing this. All right, just to recap. Thanks, Ruth. Just as a recap, before we end here, our box for the week is Fuse, and we will be posting a link to our Discord at the bottom. And if you have any questions, post them to our Facebook page, which I also linked to the description of this video. Otherwise, thank you, everybody. I will be hacking. I'll be online. Reach out to us. Have fun. And keep learning. Also, remember, join us next week for this same live stream. Otherwise, have a wonderful week.